What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of Queen Phierce Has Spoken, kicking it off with another self-care ritual. So earlier this year, I repotted all of my babies, aka my plants. You see, I got the new organic soil. I got this brand new gardening tool set from my brother. He just knows me so well, and I can't wait to dig into it for real when I get outside. So I used a couple of tools here just to get us started. This little scissors, I just use it to cut the bag open.
Smell of fresh dirt.
In case you're wondering why I'm doing this in the house, it is freezing outside. It was the beginning of January. You know, February has not been much warmer, even though it's about time to start planting the outside garden. But just make sure you lay some paper down. I used some old Trader Joe's bags, laid it across my table, and I'm ready to dig in the dirt. I don't know why I use one glove. Part of me likes to feel the dirt, and the other part of me doesn't really care too much to dig in it. Let the games begin. We're filling up the pot with some organic soil.
Me, that's who.
I know that gardening in a dress isn't your typical gear, but I felt comfortable. I was at home, and this is how I do it. It's time to transfer the plant. And the important thing right here is, in the practical sense, you don't want to really disturb or break any of the roots. And that could be true for some of us when we're making transition, when we're going from one state of being to another state of being. You don't want to break or disturb any of your roots, your foundation, what holds you and makes you and shapes you, what has kept you growing all of this time, right?
Gives it more room to grow.
But just like this plant, sometimes you have to move into a different space to be able to grow, right? So even though you kept those roots, you kept that foundation, you're in a new environment. It doesn't mean you get rid of everything that you have. It doesn't mean that you lose your foundation. It means you take it with you so you continue to grow on that. So that you can continue to build on that, so that you can keep the levels of stability that you already had. And so you see that this plant, this is a fiddle leaf fig, by the way, is standing tall and strong in all of its glory, really acclimating to its new home, or their new home. This plant is apparently non-binary.
They are about to be so happy. They just fit into their new home so nicely. Well, it'll grow as long as it has room to grow.
Thank you so much for joining me while I took part in my own self-care. Let's take a look at these babies. These are all of my plants that got new homes that day. And they all love their new homes, their new planters, their fresh soil. And taking care of them is self-care to me. It makes me feel taken care of. I always learn valuable lessons from plants and the things that grow around us. It teaches me elements of growth and how fluid it is, how it happens right before our eyes. And it's so relatable to who we are and how we grow. Well, thanks for joining me, and let's get into this episode of Queen Phierce Has Spoken. I can't wait to see where the conversation leads us. Thanks for joining me. Comment, like, and subscribe while you're at it. Welcome to another episode of Queen Phierce Has Spoken. I am your host, Queen Phierce, okay? I have been beefing up my own self-care. I don't want to say beefing up, but shifting, right? I have been creating rituals around my self-care. I have been lighting my spirit blend, which is like sage and mixed dry flowers. I might ingest some herbals. I lay out my yoga mat. I play the ambient music. I really set the mood for where I want to go in my self-care. And that really speaks to being intentional about what your self-care looks like. So when we talk about mental health and mental health challenges, it's important that you incorporate your self-care into that, because your self-care is what's going to ultimately take care of your mind, right? It's going to give you perspective and shift the way that you think about things and create the peace that you want to see, or at least from my perspective, this is what I can say about my self-care. So I want to encourage you all to do that, being intentional about your self-care. Helps you create rituals around it, and creating rituals around it helps create consistency and really helps to personalize it for you. It makes it just yours. It makes it what it looks like to you. And so I'm glad that I've been able to really dive into this self-care journey for what it looks like for me, because people will make you think that self-maintenance is self-care. Make you think that, I went to the salon, and some people do find peace at the salon, but getting your nails done every 2 weeks isn't really self-care, it's self-maintenance, right? Now, self-maintenance can also make you feel good, but self-care is really tending to those deep things that affect your esteem and emotions, and ultimately how you think of and perceive things. So I love building, or have been able to build, a ritual around my self-care. It's usually centered around yoga, which leads right into meditation, and oftentimes leads right into prayer. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel at peace. And when I'm feeling a little imbalanced or uncentered, I say, I'm gonna go do my yoga. I have a yoga video to drop for y'all too. I probably should get one there. From time to time, I record my yoga routines with the intention of sharing them with y'all, but sometimes I get a little anxious about that too. A little TBH moment, but cheers to your self-care. So let's dive a little bit into this Wednesday word. So if you follow me on Instagram, that's right, Queen Phierce, Queen Phierce. You notice that I posted a word yesterday. I call them a word because they're like little downloads sent from heaven, sent from the good Lord above us. Okay, because it ain't what y'all be saying. It ain't my strength. Trust me, it ain't. But I always talk about what is applicable to me and my life and what's going on right now, in hopes that it will help other people, propel other people forward and encourage them as well. So if you find it encouraging and you come across it, please share it with somebody else, because you never know who really needs to hear what is going on. And so the word really talks about emotional labor, right? And sometimes we take on things that's not our own. We have our own emotional labor to work out and deal with. And sometimes we take on other people's emotional labor, the work that they are supposed to be doing. Excuse me, when we decide to really ingest what they're giving us because they find peace in releasing it to you. And then you give up yourself, you give advice, you give time, you give energy, you give thought, you give worry, all to other people. And they walking around, they fine. Oh yeah, I talked to Queen about that. She had some good advice. I'm moving forward. Meanwhile, you're a little drained, little taken aback, little need a nap, right? And you like really be like, why am I so tired? Why I'm so tired? I ain't do nothing. You tired because you just giving yourself away. Give myself away. You're just giving yourself away, child. And some people's purpose in life is that level of service. So I think that you need to determine whether that is your level of service. If that is something that God has called you to do, by all means, fulfill your purpose on this earth. But at the same time, you have to take care of yourself. So I have acknowledged that I am a healer, and that's okay. I feel like it took me a long time to get to this point. People have always spoken it over my life. People have come to me time and time again, year after year after year, fixing. I'm like a fix-it person. I'm a fix-it person, and I'm a vault. I'm never going to tell your business, and I'm always going to look for a way, a solution, something to help you, right? Have the best outcomes. But to be honest, that can leave me very depleted. It can leave me depleted if I am not replenishing myself. And I think that as healers, you're just like, oh, the replenishment will come. Like, God knows I'm doing this work. God is going to make sure that I'm taken care of. But the fact of the matter is, God has given us tools to take care of ourselves, and that is His way, or God's way, of making sure that we are taken care of. It's like, can you just tap into what I have given you? And so that is, yeah. Can you just tap into what I have given you? Is what God is saying. Do you want God to just like rock you in their arms and be like, it's going to be okay? I mean, life is life. Life is life. And so we really literally have to take it as it comes. Nobody has the handbook. People try to write them, but everybody's journey is really so different. So it's important to take care of yourself. That I also incorporated in my self-care routines. But I also give myself gentle reminders, right? Consider the compensation. What is this costing you? Determine if it's worth it, if it's worth your time or your energy. There is a way to let people know, hey, right now really isn't the time for me to dive into your situation, or I'm tending to my own needs right now. Can I get back to you another time? And I think as healers, we feel the responsibility to heal or exercise healing, right? Because you are who you are to people. People depend on you. People look up to you. People are looking for you to have the answers. And so that creates a lot of pressure because at the same time, we are having this human existence, right? So things are going to come. You are going to deal with your own life's journey and issues and all these things. But on top of that, feeling the responsibility to take on others' life journeys and issues and all these things can be a bit overwhelming. So one way I compensate myself is by reminding myself that I'm not responsible for other people's human emotions. So however somebody chooses to act or express their emotions is not a reflection on me and my ability to help them or not. And I think it's important to remind yourself of that, because you can feel like, if I had just been there, maybe this would not have happened to this person. And B, I'm the person who is usually able to shift the situation, and that's not happening this time. Why is that not happening? And that's you taking responsibility for something that person needs to take responsibility for. So be kind to yourself. You're not responsible for anybody but you. Another thing that I remind myself is to not feel guilty about not being there for someone when I just physically could not. That whole if I would have been there, this wouldn't have happened. If I was able to, blah, it's all blah, right? So if you couldn't physically be there and you're in this human existence, humans have limitations, and that's okay. And so I know that we operate in spirit and in truth, but you still here. You still in this body, you know what I mean? You still have the capacity of the human mind, So give yourself some grace. Give yourself all the grace, because again, that is not your responsibility. You do what you can do. That's within your power to do. That's something that I actually pray. Allow me to do what I can. That's within my power, right? So if it's outside of the realm of what I can physically hold, I'm not responsible. So don't put that responsibility on yourself. And the last thing that I do is to take time and space when I need it, no matter what. So if I'm quiet, I'm in my space. Even if I'm in the company of other people, I know that I internalize. We all do it to a degree. But I'm heavy on the processing, because I'm always concerned about whether or not I am handling a situation the way that spirit would have me handle it. And so I look inward and I look to spirit for guidance. And sometimes that causes me to isolate. And that's okay if that's what you need to do for you in order to hear clearly, in order to gain that clarity, right? So take time and space, no matter what. That takes my time. Everybody know I'm on Phierce time. Don't be mad and don't unfriend me. So, to conclude this word, I would like to say that it's definitely a process. It's a journey. It ain't everybody's business, because they ain't gonna understand in no way. Find the best ways to take care of yourselves. If you overfill your cup, don't feel guilty about it, because you'll thank yourself on the days when you feel you don't have nothing left to give. and Queen Phierce has spoken. So we are coming to the end of our segment. I never imagined that I would be sitting here chatting with y'all for 40 minutes, but I'm glad that we got through this, right? So thanks for joining me. I'm so happy. I'm glad to read y'all comments. I'm glad that y'all have been so engaged. If something resonates with you, make sure you are sharing. I think that I'm going to be taking some clips from this and definitely dropping it on the IG. So when you see that, make sure you share that. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It blows my mind every time that people who engage and watch my shows aren't really subscribed. So I'm thankful for all my subscribers, but let's run these numbers up because y'all know I be dropping these gems. Don't act like I don't. Okay, and I'm cute. Anyway, to close us out, I want to give a Queen Crush shout out. And I love this segment. I think I'm going to be doing it every week, giving a Queen Crush shout out to one of my biggest supporters, the Angel Amore. I am so happy and pleased and blessed to be in sisterhood with this queen. You can follow her at Living Keto Amore. That is her page for her health care and self-care journey. She started the keto life a couple years ago, set a goal, smashed it, and is still out here killing it. Okay, so she has a jump rope competition, a jump rope challenge coming up for the month of February. Check out Living Keto Amore, Living Keto, Keto Amore, Amor, to check out that challenge. You might see me skipping a rope or two. I gotta get me a good rope, y'all, and I gotta tie these puppies down. These joints when I be jumping is not the business. I think that's why I fell out the last jump rope challenge that she put up. But I'm excited. We do our women's wellness walks. They are always much needed and a part of my own self-care. So I am grateful for the tribe that I have that is just out here doing amazing things. Queen Crush shout out to the Angel Amore. Beautiful wife, beautiful mother, just mother in every sense of the word, and a nurse, just a frontline worker that has seen so much struggle and up and down over the last couple years, and especially in the last few months, and still makes the choice to get up every day and serve her community, serve the people at her job, her patients, and serve her family to the utmost degree. Angel baby, I love you. I'm so blessed to be connected with you, and I cannot wait to see all of the amazing things that will continue to line up for you. Let's keep growing and glowing, girl. That's my Queen Crush. Stop. I've been knowing Angel for years and years now. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for joining me. I had a wondrous time. And I will see y'all next week for another dope episode of Queen Phierce Has Spoken right here on the Queen Phierce channel on YouTube. I am your host, Queen Phierce, Queen Phierce. That's right, Phierce from Philly. Okay. Sprinkling this big queen energy everywhere I go. I love y'all. I will see you next week.